The Man Whore Podcast is sponsored by HotMovies.com. Try out some ethical paid-for porn for free with none of those hidden fees or secret recurring subscriptions when you sign up at HotMovies.com/bonus and use the promo code MANWHORE. Now let's get to the show.
Welcome to the Man Whore Podcast.
Shout out to all the Jersey whores, LA sluts, and Boston babes. You know, the ones who go all, fuck me harder, It's just so not a pleasurable thing to hear me go and do. Well, this is Billy Presida, and you are listening to the Man Whore Podcast. Okay, that was a weird thing I did. I'm just trying to take chances here. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of my show where I talk to women I've hooked up with about sex, dating, and why we didn't work out. Oh my, we're diving deep back into the well, deep into my history. This week's guest is Jean, the woman who took my virginity. Oh yeah, it's finally happened. I am so stoked to share her with y'all in a bit, but first, you know what we got to do. Right now, first, we got to do some show dates, people. Show dates. This Saturday, July 14th, I'm competing in a naked roast battle, which is exactly what it sounds like. That's going to be part of Skankfest. And then next week, July 17th, I will be doing a clothed roast battle at the Soho Playhouse at 10 p.m. But the show dates that matter the most, you know them, people. August 3rd, we're doing a Man Whore Podcast Presents stand-up comedy show at Lucky Jack's at 8 o'clock. And then August 4th, we're doing a live Man Whore Podcast recording at the Actors Theater Workshop, 8 p.m. in Chelsea. It's going to be fantastic. Me on stage with not one, no, not two, four. Yeah, 4 ex-partners, 4 ex-lovers, 4 ex-people who don't make out with me anymore on stage, giving it to me for real. And you can attend either or both of these shows. The comedy show is $8 online, $10 at the door. The live Man Whore Podcast is $15 online, $20 at the door. And you know what? Want to come to both shows? I know you do. Well, you can online buy a combo ticket for a discount price of just $20. 2 shows, 2 nights of entertainment, $20. It's a steal. Check out the show notes of this episode if you want to get the ticket links. But you can go to manwhorepod.com. You will see the links there. Go get your tickets ASAP. We've got limited seating. Of course, the comedy show and the live podcast are part of a whole weekend of events, Man Whore Con 2018. And you can still get a weekend pass if you go to manwhorepod.com/tickets. It's not too late to make some plans to coming out to New York City, hang out with your fellow fan whores. Slight announcement on that. One very benevolent listener has said he would love to buy someone who can't afford it a weekend pass. So if you live in the greater New York City area, maybe you want to come, but $95 is a little out of your price range. Shoot me an email. I'd love to connect you with this fine gentleman because it seems like he would like to buy you a weekend pass of fun. Also, a Man Whore Con announcement. A couple of sponsors I just want to give a shout out to. A couple of companies that are helping make Man Whore Con happen. I want to show my appreciation and love for them. Lilo Hex Condoms. Curious about a new kind of condom? Want to try something else? Okay. This leading brand in intimate industry, Lilo, has spent 7 years in development to deliver a world-class major condom innovation, the first kind in 70 years. Using unique hexagonal structure, Lilo Hex condoms look and perform differently to any condom in the world today. And I want to give a shout out to Lilo Hex Condoms for being a sponsor of Man Whore Con. Also a big shout out, and oh my God, I am so stoked, so excited because the pins finally came in. I think, I forget if I announced this, but I'm going to give them another shout out because the pins are that cool. Geeky and Kinky pins. They're enamel pins for sex positive geeks. They are providing a whole bunch of free pins. They're like geeky subjects in kinky situations. You know, like Daria, if she was a dominatrix, or Velma tied up with rope, or, you know, if you mix like, if the, if the Elder Wand in Harry Potter was really a Hitachi wand, you know, stuff like that. They're fun. And the pins came in, and I'm very excited about it because then that means I get to have some of these pins. And that's really all I want in the world. So you can check them out at geekyandkinky.com. And if you want to go get yourself some Lilo Hex condoms or a slew of wonderful Lilo products, you can go to lelo.com, Lelo.com. Thanks again for helping making ManWhoreCon happen. Okay, now the administrative stuff is out of the way. How am I doing? I'm doing good. Sipping on my whiskey here. Feeling good. I had a first date that was so wonderful. I had a date that lasted 22 hours. Have you ever had one of these before? Have you ever had a date that just, you know, it went on and on and on, and it was so wonderful? The entire time, you don't want it to end, but your schedule kind of demands it. That's how I felt. I slid into someone's DMs. Yeah, I did that thing. I hear people talk about it all the time. It was a blast. And it was just, she's another, like, let's just call her a sex professional. We were talking on Instagram, and she lives in a city nearby, and it was like, hey, let's get together. Turned out I had access to a car, and I was like, oh, you know, I really want to go to the beach. And, well, after a lot of innuendos about putting things in my butt, it was like, we should hook up. You make me feel squirrely, and let's go to the nude beach. So I drove out to her city. We had a very fun night of fooling around, just lots of me. She's a leading lady, and we all know Billy likes a leading lady. So it was a very sexy night for me, hopefully for her. And then the next morning, we woke up early, drove down to Gunnison Beach on the Sandy Hook of New Jersey, enjoyed a day out on the nude beach, which is just always a blast. Caught some rays, you know, got myself a little bit of a tan. She sadly got very burnt. But, you know, to spend 22 hours with a total stranger is a very intimate experience, especially if one of you is in a different city, because there's almost like a trapped feeling sometimes if it's not going well, because then it's like, I can't go, or like my flight's not till this day, or you know, I'm too drunk to drive home right now, I gotta stay over. It can get very awkward. Doing the long distance first date from the internet is very risky. Approach with caution. Luckily, it worked out for me. However, there was also a part of this woman who, you know, I've gone this great first date with. I'm really into. I would like to see where this goes, in more than a, you know, sexual prostate play way. She said something that set me off, that upset me. She said something that hurt my feelings. I didn't really like it very much. I kind of felt like I was getting diagnosed via text message, and I said as much, and she didn't take kindly to that. We ended up getting to this argument, and at one point I just started feeling kind of gaslit, at least to the extent that I understand that term. I started to feel crazy. I was like, I was starting to feel crazy for being upset about what she said, because at one point she kind of turned things around and started being mad at me for things I said in response to this shitty thing she said. So, and it started to almost erase the thing that caused this shitty thing she said. And I went through this with my last ex way too much, where like there's a lot of times where we would get into fights and I always had to be the one who apologized. I was always the one who fucked up. We actually cover this in my Patreon bonus episode with comedian Dave Neal. And after the breakup, I told myself I wasn't going to let myself get bullied into those situations again, where Billy's the fuck up, Billy has to apologize, and Billy's not allowed to be upset. It's fine for me to be the fuck up and have to apologize. Just the part where like we're erasing what has upset me. And I was so nervous that this great first date was going to end there because this woman was not going to be able to recognize a very simple statement. Hey, you said something that made me feel bad. Took a day or two, it took a little bit of time to get past it, a little bit of like, hey, not texting for a day. But she came around, and I was really happy she did. That was really important to me. She may not understand at this moment how important to me it was to have her say, I'm sorry. Because then it's like, okay, now maybe I can pursue this. And I'm going to, this comes out on Wednesday, so I'll be seeing her tomorrow. And I'm, as of the day that you hear this, and we'll see how that second date goes. Because she seems pretty fucking cool. She's poly. She's cute. She's not like super vanilla sexually. Not that that's a requirement of mine, but it's like totally a bonus. So yeah, that's what's up with me. What's going on with me in my sex and dating life? I got a woman that I can have some fun casual sex with. I've gone on some first dates, seeing where things go. But this particular woman happens, actually tomorrow of the day I'm recording, the day you're listening to this, I'm supposed to be doing a stranger play scene from Reddit. We'll see how that goes, or if it happens, if she bails. But but this particular woman seems to stick out to me. And that's exciting because I haven't had someone who stuck out in that way, in an exciting way, since my ex. So that's where I'm at. Also, watch Nanette. If you have Netflix, which I know you do, if you listen to podcasts, there's no way you don't have a Netflix password. The comedy special Nanette from Hannah Gadsby made me cry such tears and laugh and rethink what comedy can be. And I'm not going to go into a big long soliloquy about Nanette, but please watch it and then email or tweet me your thoughts, because even if they're negative, but I want to talk about it with people because it was just so groundbreaking and revolutionary and just amazing. And this is a special where I tried it once. I watched 10 minutes. I turned it off. I was like, this is boring. And then people insisted I watch the whole thing. I was like, okay. And by the end of it, I was in fucking tears. For good and bad and confused reasons. So, can't recommend it enough. Nanette on Netflix. Friendly reminder, everyone, if you want to email me your comments, your questions, your titty pictures, you can send that on over to manwhorepod@gmail.com. Love getting your emails. They're one of the favorite parts of my day. And now it's time for a segment we call Did You Know? Brought to you by hotmovies.com. This is a segment of the podcast where we like to tell you 5 fun facts about the adult entertainment industry that you may or may not have already known. Did you know 90s porn star Janine Linda Mulder starred alongside Linda Blair and Ernest Borgnine in the 1988 film Moving Target, which came out a year before I was born? Which you probably didn't know either of those things. Did you know Deep Throat was the 7th highest grossing movie in 1972 and was seen by many mainstream celebrities like Martin Scorsese, Jack Nicholson, Frank Sinatra, and Jackie Kennedy Onassis in theaters? Oh my. The only thing I want to know was, did they come during the movie? We may never know. Did you know? While threesome and gangbang make the top 5 most popular search terms for women, neither is even in the top 20 for men. Whoa. That's mind blown. Did you know in 1980, Ron Jeremy appeared as a contestant on Wheel of Fortune? He won a trip to Mazatlan. I don't know where that is. I just hope he didn't rape anyone when he was there. Did you know Professor Simon Louis Lajeunesse? Oh man, I need my Montreal fan horse to help me out here. Or my French ones. Jazz, are you listening? Professor Simon Louis Lajeunesse from the University of Montreal attempted to do a study. Oh my God, I've heard about this. Okay, I don't even need to read the thing. This professor attempted to do a study about men who have never watched porn. But he couldn't find a focus group or a control group because he couldn't find men who had never or don't watch porn. Couldn't find it. There weren't enough people. It doesn't exist. You know why? Because all men watch porn. If they say they don't like porn, they're either not admitting it or they just haven't found the porn that they're into. I firmly believe this. I think if you only have seen max hardcore gaping asshole porn, then maybe you think that is what porn is, in which case maybe you're like, oh, this porn's not for me. And then you think porn isn't for me. And I say hashtag not all porn. I say there's plenty of stuff that isn't fucking hardcore triple penetration stuff. And you know where you can find some other different types of pornography? Hotmovies.com. I love it when the sponsor just seamlessly fits right on in. Hotmovies.com is a fabulous place that has all sorts of adult entertainment films, whether they be opposite sex. They got plenty of same-sex stuff. To all my bi boys asking me where their porn is, hotmovies.com. I checked. They got plenty of it. And you can enjoy 20 free minutes when you sign up for any package at hotmovies.com/bonus and use the promo code MANWHORE when you sign up. Again, go to hotmovies.com/bonus, enter promo code MANWHORE to get 20 extra minutes on top of any package. You can even do their free trial, which turns a 20, and when you use my promo code, that turns their 20-minute free trial into a 40-minute free trial. Give it a try. hotmovies.com/bonus, enter code MANWHORE. Do it. One last little plea, people. My nipples, they are on the chopping block. Remember, if we hit $1,500 pledged on Patreon by August, I will get my nipples pierced at ManwhoreCon. Yes, I will, and I'll live stream the whole thing. Now, where are we at? We're at about $900 pledged as of today, July 11th, right? So we're about $900. We're about $600 away. If 600 of you right now go pledge just $1, we're gonna hit the goal, and then my nipples, my poor sweet nipples, are gonna get some barbells in them, or maybe I'll do one with a loop and one with a barbell. I don't know. Put me in the position where I have to figure it out. Go to patreon.com/manwhorepodcast. Become a member for at least $1. Show that you support this podcast. Show that you care about quality sex positive content, and show that you want to see me get my nipples pierced. Go to Patreon, patreon.com/manwhorepodcast. Support the show. Make this happen. You got till August 1st. And now for this week's guest, Jean. Oh my. This episode I have been trying to make happen for years, but she's been on the fence, finally got her to say yes. She was very excited to do it, and I'm not going to go into a big long thing about her history. We get into it. If you listen to every episode of this show, you have heard it at some point. But it was bizarre. I haven't seen her in 8 years. We hadn't had sex in 11 years. So it was a surreal meetup with this gal. And I'm just going to let y'all hear me talk to the woman who insisted upon my virginity. The dear Jean.
Yeah, there was sex. Go ahead. All right.
Oh, yeah, no, we're fine. We're going. We're on.
We're on. Okay, sorry.
I find a point to fade in.
Oh, I thought you'd be like, we're here. I didn't know you were. Okay.
Well, either one of us goes on about some nonsense that's not interesting until or we're just here now. Either way, there's no way of making this seem normal. What we're doing,
right?
So
this is why I've avoided this for so long.
Yeah. So what made you change your mind? Because I've asked you before, and I've gotten no's, maybes.
Yeah.
And you finally flipped.
Yeah, okay.
So I was like, I got to rent a car.
Okay, 2 reasons. One, your hustle and trying to get me to do this. Really respect that. I was like, and also I'm a designer and this is an art form. So I understand you want people to be involved and I get that kind of thing. And also, finally, my husband was like, I actually don't give a shit. And I was like, cool. I was like, I kind of want to do this. And everyone I talked to was like, you should do it. It's super fun.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was he the first hindrance? Like when the first time, because the first time I asked you, I think you were still engaged, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
definitely engaged. Yeah, he was sort of like, because he's actually really like easygoing, very open-minded, like super cool. So I was kind of surprised that he was like felt weird about it. And I was like, I really like Billy's like he's like a good guy. Like, I don't think it's a big deal. And he's like, and he kept being like, whatever, do whatever you want, do whatever you want. And I was like,
But it was the do whatever you want,
Right.
where it's like
It's-
there's a consequence
Exactly.
if you do one of them.
And then I called his bluff. Oh, actually, I think I know what the real thing is. He wants to go skydiving. And I'm like super freaked out about it. No, I'm super like, I'm good. He's going to die. I'm going to be a widow at 29. This is going to blow. He was like, I'm doing it. Because I had said for so long, please don't do it. Please don't do it. And he's like, I'm doing it. And I was like, well, I'm doing the podcast. And he was like, all right. So I think we had this mutual understanding, like, let's not hold each other back.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. You know,
Right.
however we get there.
Yeah, exactly. So
4.5 years later, this show is still not an easy sell
yeah.
to
Right.
these women.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you were here, Gene. Thank you for thanks for being on.
Thank you
finally.
for having me. I'm pretty excited.
Yes, you, episode number 222, but woman number 1.
That's right. It all started here. You're welcome, world.
Yep, it started at a party where I drove 2 hours. Oh, what a weird.
Oh my God. That was so one of the reasons I was like, I'm definitely gonna hook up with them. You showed up in a black Escalade. I think it was an Escalade. Like those, you know, it was big
Yeah, my
cars.
mom drove an Escalade
Yeah.
at the time.
I was like, super cool. That's so hot.
Oh, ew. That's such a your area of where you grew
I
up
know.
type of reason to fuck somebody.
I know, I'm really
his
sorry.
car. Oh,
So
gosh.
sorry. Young. Was I like 17? No, I think I was 18.
It was the summer after we graduated high school.
You're right, I was 18 years
so
old.
I was I actually figured it out while I was driving up. It was July 17th, 2007.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
'Cause I was
it was
like-
a Tuesday night.
Right. I was
When
like,
all virginities get lost
oh my God.
on a
It was,
Tuesday
yeah, it was
night.
the summer. My parents were gone for the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a party. Yeah, and I had been having sex for like 4 months at the time, but I thought I was an expert. I was like, don't worry, I'll show him.
Well, a mutual friend of ours had been trying to get us together for, I guess, longer than your 4 months. You know, I wonder if that was a fucking thing. I'll come back to that
Yeah.
thought theory later.
Yeah,
but
circle back.
A mutual friend of ours, Kelsey,
Yep.
went to my boarding school.
Right.
And she's from your hometown. So she went to went to high school with you, right?
She went to high school with me for 2 years, but we stayed
Before she
friends.
came up. Okay.
Yeah.
So she, my senior year, started being like, oh, Bill, you got to hook up with my friend Gene. Because I was a big loser.
Yeah.
I don't
you
know
were
wh-
so shy. Painfully shy.
I was painfully shy for one, just bare at base standard. But that
Right.
night I'm extra shy because I'm at some party where I don't know anyone.
Right.
And everyone kind of knows.
Why you're there.
They're just like, oh, some fucking weirdo drove 2 hours to fuck our friend Gene. Okay. So like, I was a little shy also because I knew that.
Right. Okay.
But
Fair,
yeah,
that's
no,
fair,
but I
that's
was
fair.
like a total loser in high school.
I mean, I wouldn't say you were a loser, but
Not when you met me necessarily,
Yeah.
but like basically from
you
age,
didn't know how good looking you were when you were younger. Like you didn't get it. Like you were so uncomfortable in your own skin, but you were very attractive, but you didn't really understand that. So it was like this kind of adorable juxtaposition of like quirkiness, but like very attractive.
I think you just nailed my psyche entirely. Because I won't ever
Yeah.
acknowledge what I look like.
Yeah. It was like, it was weird because everyone was like, he's super hot, but he like doesn't say he's like super uncomfortable in
Did
like,
people call me hot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Yeah. Once my friend said that, I was like, okay, we're definitely having sex. All my friends think he's hot and he drives a car. Here we are.
And he drives a car.
Don't worry, I grew up a little.
Oh, I hope.
Yeah, I did.
Did you get married because he has an Escalade? Is
No,
that
no,
okay.
not at all. He's from Delaware, like middle of nowhere, Delaware. Very like humble dude. Yeah.
Well, our friend was bugging me like a good chunk of senior year. There was like, oh, you got to hook up with my friend Jean. You should hook up with my friend Jean. I should set you up with her. Other people, she mentioned something about, I don't even know the name of the company, so I don't think I could out him if I tried. But
Yeah.
just like, yeah, his dad, her dad works in oil
Yeah,
and like is a top executive thing.
Yeah.
So all the guys
Oh, they were like, you gotta go.
And they were all like, Billy, marry her now.
Oh my God, I remember this now. Yes.
They were all
yes,
like, marry her now. Get in on that oil money. And Kelsey's trying to be like, Billy, you should hook up with my friend G because she's great and she's fun and she's like, out there.
Right. Yeah.
But I wonder if Kelsey knew I was painfully virginous, and if maybe she knew you were still a virgin, knew I was a dude who wasn't going to dick you over.
Right.
Because even if you had sex with me once, I wasn't going to be some asshole.
No.
Other than starting a podcast about it.
Yeah, right.
So I think what if Kelsey's intention was, we'll have Gene lose her virginity to nice guy Billy, and Billy can finally say a woman touched him.
She was really trying to help you out.
She was. Well, she just
really
was very around everyone. She was like fairly insistent.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kels.
Well,
so sweet.
Which made me go like, oh, what's the catch? And this is pre-Facebook because
was there a catch?
I don't know.
What was the catch?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
That's when someone's insistent upon the thing,
right?
And also, it's pre-Facebook. We can't quite.
You couldn't like scan or.
I don't know what you were able to do, but at Hyde we had like proxies where we had to like, if we wanted to check Facebook, we had to like go on a proxy site, and you couldn't really look at pictures properly. So it was really just to
I
like.
Definitely got sent a picture of you.
You probably did, but I didn't really get to see.
Oh, you didn't.
I got to see like a far.
So wait, what was our first meeting? Was
your party?
Oh my God!
Yeah,
that's so slutty of me. That's great. Good for me.
But we were supposed to meet during the spring break in the March before that. But there was a basketball game in New London. Our girls team made it to the like semifinals. So I decided to drive up there during that break to go like watch them, hopefully like win, go to whatever. Kelsey was dating Hunt at the time.
Yep.
So they were going to meet up. And then my friend Ryan, he was coming, and Kelsey was going to bring Sarah, who has now been on this podcast.
Sarah was on this podcast?
Yeah. And then, and the idea was Ryan and Sarah would hook up, and then you were supposed to come, so we would hook up. Oh. And then Kelsey has an excuse to be hanging with Hunt. And then Ryan ended up just deciding not to come.
Did I bail?
You woke up sick.
Oh.
So Sarah and I kind of awkwardly got put together, and you met me. Yeah. I'm not going to flirt with anyone unless they're overt with me.
Right. You needed like some serious cues.
Yeah, I need cues to know that like someone's into me, because otherwise, why would they be?
Right.
And so and then we went back to, I think it was like Hunt's place afterwards, and we're all like fake watching a movie, I guess. And Kelsey and Hunt leave at some point. Yeah. And then that just leaves me with this girl Sarah. So somehow we ended up making out. I don't know how.
I never knew this. This is awesome.
Yeah, and so it didn't really progress much past that because it was like. Very nervous. I didn't know how to do anything.
Right.
And then there was that.
I didn't know you and Sarah hooked up. That's too funny.
Yeah. And then I went to London like a couple years ago, and she did the show.
Does she have a British accent now?
No. Okay. No. But she has a very nice boyfriend.
Oh, great.
Yeah, who was also very kind to let me like come into their home.
Yeah. Was he there when this?
He was like in a living room. Like we went into a bedroom to do it.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, so.
Cool.
But yeah, so it was very interesting. Have you ever been like, was Kelsey that?
Insistent?
Like, was she the type to like try to put people together?
I mean, she's a very strong-willed person.
Very strong-willed woman. Yes.
She gets what she wants. So she was like, you really need to hang out with Billy. He's so cool. He's so good-looking. Blah blah blah. And she was like, but he's super super shy. And I was like, oh, so he's super awkward.
Wait, did Kelsey call me good-looking?
Yes.
Because I also had like a mild crush on Kelsey once upon a time.
Yeah, she did call you good-looking.
Okay, my thoughts on this whole thing is maybe changing a bit.
Yeah.
Because originally I thought I was just like, she was trying to dump off the awkward guy with like maybe her friend who for like whatever reason, maybe she doesn't trust the types of dudes were getting with. Right. Maybe you weren't getting with dudes.
Right.
Didn't know, didn't get an explanation.
Right.
But I always thought this was more of a putting two things that she didn't think were doing well on their own together.
Okay, I was doing just fine on my own. Just want to
Okay.
make that very clear.
Okay.
And second of all,
We get it, Gene. You fucked.
Yeah,
we got it.
Yeah, I was doing extremely well. Okay. I don't know why she was so insistent, honestly.
Yeah. I also didn't know if maybe you were like the easy friend where you're just like, well, you know what, Gene will fuck people and Billy needs it. So part of me thought maybe it was that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There could be some truth. I think I had this
Bonus episode with Kelsey, I think is going to
we
have
really
to
need to
happen.
bring her in and get her thoughts on this because like maybe I'm not remembering things correctly, but I think there was like a window of like 4 months after I graduated where I just like went nuts, and you were part of that. You were there for that.
Fun.
Yeah.
What do you remember from that night? Besides the black Escalade,
Yeah. I remember we started making out in my kitchen.
Uh-huh.
And then this is terrible. We went to my parents' room.
You insisted on your parents' room, which I found strange. To this day, when I retell this, I'm just like, I don't know why we're in the parents' room. She has her own room.
I know.
She's in a mansion, so it's like, it's not like her
I think
room's
that
not
they just
good.
had like the better room. And I think also this is super irresponsible, but I had so many people at the party still.
Yeah.
I think they were all at that end of the house and I wanted to go to the other end of the house.
Okay.
And I remember my sister knocked on the door at one point. Do you remember that?
No. All I remember is being a deer in headlights in that bedroom. Not sure what was going to happen. Trying to respect my own boundaries and see what goes down.
No, you were a very sweet lover. Like you were very kind.
Well, it's hard to be that much of an asshole in 7 seconds.
You're right. That's a really fair point. Yeah, you were super nice. But yeah, my sister knocked on the door in the middle of it because like too many people had showed up. And so that was like a whole situation. So I had to like leave the room for a bit, just like left you hanging there.
Well, yeah, I think you also left to go get a condom that I told you we did not need.
Right.
Because
it was one of my dad's like 10-year-old condoms anyways. It was like,
oh gosh, that's probably not good.
I was like, I got one. You were like, I don't know if that's going to work.
Well, did you also know that like do you remember having to put it on?
Yes.
Because I didn't know what the fuck I'm doing.
That's right.
'Cause I had no sex ed.
Yeah, you had no sex ed?
We had no sex ed at Hyde.
Huh.
0.
I'm surprised. I felt like it was kind of a progressive school.
It's like hippy dippy, but I think they like, I think they just forgot, or they just were like, we don't need to.
Whatever. Yeah.
Because the only sex ed I got was once a year. Pam Birchie would come to the guys' dorm, hold a male dorm meeting, and she would explain the statutory rape laws of Connecticut.
Oh, so
that was my sex ed.
That's terrible.
That's the only thing.
And you have such a healthy attitude towards sex now.
How? Yeah, I don't know if I'm overcompensating or what, but
interesting.
Yeah.
I think you'll have to be analyzed, psychologically analyzed. Yeah, you didn't know how to put on a condom. Definitely had to help you up with that. But it was actually for losing their virginity to someone, it was not a terrible experience. Like a couple, I've had sex with like 3 other people.
You mean the experience of taking virginity?
Yeah, okay. I was like, it wasn't awful. You know what I mean? Like I assumed it was going to be pretty bad, but it wasn't.
Okay.
So good job.
Well, what was this 4-month craziness period after, as high school was ending?
Yeah,
did something drastically change, or did you just do a simple switch from blowjobs to fucking?
Right. I think it was like, when you first lose your virginity and then you just like want to have all the sex afterwards?
No, I don't, because that's not how I felt.
That's not what happened?
No.
Did I traumatize you? Was it awful?
I wasn't traumatized.
All right, okay. Just want to make sure.
I've been raped and I still wasn't traumatized by that.
Oh, Christ.
Come on.
Takes
we'll
a
lot
to circle back to that.
Yeah, it takes a lot to phase me.
Oh, good. Okay. No, so I think once you lose your virginity, like, I know I've asked a lot of other people this, but you just go crazy afterwards because you're like, whatever, broke the seal, the awkwardness is over. I kind of know what I'm doing.
And you're getting ready for college.
You're getting ready for college, and you're like, I'm gonna be the one who knows how to have sex. But it's like I've been having sex for like 4 months, so I didn't have much on you.
Well, you seemed very experienced.
Did I?
Well, in your
fake it till you make it.
In your insistence and enthusiasm. You know what I mean?
That's so embarrassing. Yeah.
So like that, I felt like that was why I was like, oh, maybe this is like, she bangs a lot of people. Good for her, power and all that stuff.
Right. Not really. I think you were like my 4th.
Yeah.
It's not a lot.
Early enough that you can remember people's order in line.
Well, I got married pretty young, so I can name every single person in order.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think after a certain age, like, yeah, you start to just like forget.
Sure.
But I stopped.
What was your virginity loss like?
It was with my first serious boyfriend in high school. He was a junior. I actually really was like, he was like definitely my first love.
Real love or high school love?
Honestly, like to this day, think he's one of the best guys I've ever known. Like 100% can't believe he's not snatched up. Super cool guy. He worked at the Starbucks in where I lived.
He drove a black Escalade.
No, he didn't. He did not drive a black Escalade. And we had sex one day after school before his shift at Starbucks. And he was so excited that we had sex afterwards, he ordered everyone in Starbucks Chinese food for dinner. Yep.
And then he looked back at what he was getting paid hourly at Starbucks. Like, actually,
it was was like, can I
Maybe
get that?
not.
Yeah, exactly.
He tried to do what he sees in the movies where people go like, round on the house. And he just forgot, like, I'm 16.
What, 16?
I have a 16-year-old bank account statement.
Yeah, exactly. So that was my...
And was it night? Like, what was the sex itself like?
Kind of depressing, kind of like... I just remember it lasted for all of like 3 seconds, and he was like, I'm really sorry. It just makes it worse when someone keeps apologizing after, because you're like, okay, it wasn't that bad, but like it was pretty bad. But he was so sweet that I think I thought it was good.
Okay.
You know?
Now, are you all doing foreplay? Do you have are you doing foreplay for it? Like, is it?
Yeah, I mean, I gave him a blowjob, and then he had finally figured out where my clit was. It's very exciting for him.
At 16, he's way
a big
ahead of the
deal.
game.
And I told people that, and there's like, there's no way he knew what that was. And I was like, no, he did. I think he like Googled it.
He may not have known what it was, but he found the thing. And that's
he was
what's
like,
important.
Exactly. He was like, I think this thing works. And I was like, yeah.
There are 26-year-olds who still don't know where the fucking thing is.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should definitely put out a PSA just for everyone.
At some point, but we're so... Oh, gosh.
We're far from... You're right. We're far from that as a...
for sex ed in this country, oh, gosh, is it dismal.
It's pretty
you know,
bad.
it's like only... believe it's either 13 or 17. I always get weird number switching on it, but I think it's 13 states in the country require that sex ed be, quote, medically accurate.
No.
Yeah.
That's depressing.
Everyone vote in the midterms.
Seriously.
Yeah.
That's awful.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And we wonder why people don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Right.
Or don't know how to communicate or how consent works or any of
Yeah.
this stuff. Yeah.
Very sad.
So now how long were you, like, what were you like with guys before then? Like, have you always been, you came off to me as very confident.
Yeah.
Again, another reason why I thought Kelsey suggested, because you seem like enthusiastic.
Because I would push you out of your
confident
comfort zone.
I mean, I don't know that pushing out of one's comfort zone is like the best thing to do.
No.
With someone you just meet at a party who's a virgin.
You were into it too. Let's not play that.
I was excited to come fool around, but I did also was like, hey, I'm a virgin. I'd like to leave here a virgin.
You said that?
I texted it to you. I also said it in the bedroom at least once. It was kind of like the comical shortening version of retelling that I remember is like, hey, by the way, like, hey, I don't want to actually have sex tonight. And you were like, great, I'll go get a condom. And I'm just like, I don't know, you heard. No? Okay, I guess this is happening.
See, that's really surprising to me because that's like not how I remember it.
How do you, do tell.
Yeah. I just remember you being very like along for the ride, like very casual about everything. Because I remember at one point, like, someone knocked on the door and like we stopped and I was like, we don't have to, like, we can just not do this anymore. And you were like, no, it's fine. I was like, all right.
Well, like, I love making out. Like, making out's fun. At the time, I was just starting making out. You had probably been, like, I don't know, the eighth person I'd made out with ever.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it was, like, depressingly low enough that I was, like, so counting, like, oh, I got to make out with this person. Got to kiss this. I almost made out with that person. But then she went on 2-4, so we couldn't make out.
Yeah.
It's like, so I was very excited for that and to do things. I just didn't. I didn't want to like have the PIV intercourse. Yeah,
got it.
And so when I said, and I've experienced this like over the years, or like especially when I was in college, especially when I was in college with like older women, I would say, oh, by the way, let's go upstairs, but like I don't want to have sex because I wouldn't usually fuck the first time, and they'd be like, oh, okay, and they would think, oh, he's just saying that, or he's just saying that to like seem, safe or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, maybe that's what I thought. I don't know, because you were so calm and sweet, like so it just didn't seem like you were.
Well, I was very grateful that somebody wanted to be naked with me. So,
okay.
Like, I was just like, okay, cool. This like cute chick wants to get naked with me. Fantastic.
Yeah, I will say you were very passive leading up to it. Do you know what I mean? So
I'm still very passive.
Are you?
Oh my God. I'm very much a follower.
Yeah, and most of the guys I'd been with at that point were not passive at all. So I think I was like, I guess I have to be like the aggressive on here. Like I didn't, you know what I mean? I was like, I don't know how this goes.
I've always been into a leading lady.
Yeah, and I mean, at 17 or 18 years old, like you almost feel like there's certain roles you have to play in the bedroom.
Uh-huh.
Like, do you have to be the aggressive one or do you have to be the passive one where you can just like be yourself? And I think I thought like, oh, I have to take the lead here.
Yeah. Because this fucking virgin doesn't know what he's doing.
He is like super just kind of like agreeable. Like you were just kind of like, okay, yeah, sure. And I was like, I guess I'm making all the fucking decisions here. Like, you know.
Welcome to gender equality, Gene.
Right, exactly. I was like, cool. Is this the future? Fuck yeah.
Yeah. What other types of rules did you used to play into like that?
Well, it's just all the guys I had been with had been very much like, oh, I know what I'm doing. I have lots of sex and like this is like I'm the leader here. I can do this. And I was like, oh, cool. All right. You know, and I wish I had been more. I think you were the first time I had been very much like I'm in charge.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of those like unspoken rules that we think are rules and they aren't rules, but we're all too terrified to speak out loud to each other.
That's what we should say to kids about sex.
Speak out loud to each other.
Exactly. Communicate. And there are no roles. You don't have to be a certain way in the bedroom.
Exactly.
Just be yourself.
Whatever's fun and hot for you is what you should be doing, not whatever else.
Because had I really picked up on your sense of like, I'm not ready for it, I probably wouldn't have been like, I don't think I would have been into it. Like now that would be such a turnoff. I'd be like, oh, you should go. You know what I mean? But at the time I was like, no, we're having sex. We're in a dark room and we're both naked.
Yes,
this is what you're supposed to do.
Yes, you were.
Yeah.
Well, now would that have been the thing if I had been more vocal, say, oh, I don't want to fuck tonight? Would that have been the kibosh to all things? Or do you think you would have been down to...
I don't know if I was like emotionally mature enough to not take that as a rejection.
Sure.
So I think I probably would have been like, all right, well, like, let's just go drink with my friends and like, maybe you'll leave or maybe you won't. You know?
And don't you find that interesting that, you know, and because I've had women sometimes say this to me, or they ask like, wait, do you not want to fuck me because you don't think I'm cute? I'll be like, no, it's because I just met you. I don't know. And I'm trying to have sex that like my instincts are like, fuck
now I would understand that. I'd be like, oh yeah.
Yeah. But even
my husband wouldn't have sex with me for 2 months while we started dating. 2 months. He was like, nope, we're not like,
we're going to have to talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But just the idea, like, I've had some women who take it personally, and I'm like, oh no, like, fucking take your pants off. I want to eat your pussy. Like, let's do this.
Oh.
I just like, let's fuck next time after I've learned how your body works.
Definitely would not have been able to understand that at 18 years old.
Right. And I don't think my thought process was that sophisticated then. There was I don't know. Did you know there was another woman I was seeing? Like, yeah. But like, we weren't boyfriend, girlfriend.
Right.
But we were all like lovey-dovey and both virgins.
Yeah.
So the fairy tale in both our heads was the losing it to each other.
Right.
And
That's
then
cute.
I fucked that one up. Yeah.
No, I guess I fucked
I
that
like
one up.
the face on her face. She made a face of like, oh, that's cute. Whatever.
Sorry, I guess I fucked that one up for you.
Nah, it's fine. It's,
Okay.
But on the taken as a rejection thing, women would see that as a rejection, but a guy gets told, oh, well, let's not fuck. I don't want to have sex tonight, but we can do other things.
Right.
We aren't trained to take that as a rejection. We're seen to take that as we respect our boundaries and then do certain things.
Right.
Right. Like we're almost always expecting to be. We're prepared for rejection.
It's
true. As soon as my cock comes out of my mom's twat, I'm prepared for rejection every day.
Yeah.
Because we're taught like, look, they probably don't want to fuck you, and you have to try to trick them in a way.
You want to know why that is? Because a woman can go out any night of the week and say, I'm going to get laid. And she'll probably get laid. Like, there's a 98% chance she'll get. A man will go out and say, I'm going to get laid tonight. And there's like a 30% chance he'll get laid.
Yeah. Now, and with that, and you know, I've made that point, and some women go like, yeah, but he's going to be this, that, and the other. Hey, we didn't talk about quality.
No,
we just said
like,
the act of it happening in an instant.
If you want it, you will probably be able to go get it.
If you don't want it, sadly, there's a high chance that it could happen as well.
Exactly.
So it's like, that's going to happen. But we're prepared to know, we're raised to think, oh, we got to kind of trick them or find a way or woo them or buy them.
Right.
I think that's very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're women, I'm not going to say this for all women because I know I'll get a lot of shit for it, but like,
you don't have a public email address for them to send to.
Are like so fearful of sexual rejection. It is like the height of rejection. It's like just under like you're ugly.
Yeah.
Or those kind of go together, I guess, all the time.
Because if you're being rejected, there has to be a reason.
Then it must be that you're unattractive.
Now, if you didn't want to fuck me that night, I'm not allowed to like try. I'm not allowed to like hound you as to why.
Like, yeah, exactly. Because I'd be like, that's creepy. Like get like
right. Just
off.
take the no. Whereas in you know a woman, and I only speak. I'm going to say this from experience, so I'm not generalizing women, but saying in my experience, I will get questions. Even the most sex positive, awesome woman will still like have at least a question.
Like, I need a follow up here. Why don't you?
They'll just say
sex?
Why.
Yeah.
Even if it's and I may say what the reason is, and they're totally fine, cool. And some might be like, but do you not think I'm
I don't
pretty?
need to be a dick, but do you say no just for a sense of like control? and like that you've made this decision, like you're in the driver's seat?
I don't try to use. I mean, it's hot when somebody wants me when they can't.
Okay.
But that goes for like gay men or whomever.
Right.
I just want to be told I'm pretty. That's
Yeah.
my sexual orientation is call me pretty.
Yeah.
That's,
Okay. All right.
No, I don't use it as like a move as much as just like I want to have sex. It used to be a firm rule I gave myself tail end of college, first few years out of college. Then it started being a guideline because I started trusting my judgment better. And now it's like, it's just kind of naturally, I just do what I'm excited for. So I want to I want to fuck people.
You have no agenda.
Yeah. I want to fuck people who I want to fuck because I want to fuck them.
Right.
Not just because I'm hard and they're consenting.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like, I don't want to just like fuck a hole. Like that's not, I'll eat most people's pussy. That's just a good time.
That's interesting to me that's because that's me is like way more intimate.
Right. There is that. There's a lot of people who flip them and go, well, for me, I don't know what it is, but for some reason, PIV is the more intimate thing. It's fairly arbitrary because I can't really come up with a good logical reason without making a hierarchy of sex acts, which causes all sorts of problems.
Right.
Because then that maybe invalidates, say, mutual masturbation, who knows what. But that's just the line I have for myself. So I do like saying it in knowing that I am going to respect my own boundaries, because there's a time when I didn't used to do that, and then I would not feel great afterwards. I'm sure.
We've all done that.
Yeah, we've all woken up and be like, "Oh, I can't believe I fucked that guy." Right,
exactly. Yeah.
And so I just didn't want. And I've had times where I was like, "I can't believe I had sex with that girl," and then like I didn't want to have those, so I stopped doing that, and I felt way better about my sexual choices. Afterwards. Yeah.
Right. No, I definitely went through a phase in college where I was just like having sex to like feel good about myself, and now that I look back, and now I'm like very confident person, and I just like it sucks that it like when you're at probably the most curious about your sexuality, you're probably at the most insecure. Mm-hmm. So it's just like creates all of these like one night stands and things that you look back and you're like, fuck, was that a waste of time? Or was it like a cool memory? And like, maybe that's why I'm in a stable, good relationship now. I don't know.
And you're also, sadly, like we don't, and it's just starting to happen now, but there used to be a time where like a woman couldn't just have a one night stand. That was also fun. Even if it's like a woman who's looking for, because what was it? Like you can have one night stands, but then you're that girl who just fucks and you don't want relationships.
Right.
And it's like, but you can want a relationship, have a one night stand. It doesn't get in the way of this goal. If so long as it was fun and everyone had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And how long have you been with the husband?
What year is it? 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
8 years. Holy shit.
I know, it's not really long.
Wow. So there's like college?
Yes, we started. So we were friends. We met.
And you've been married how long?
5 years. 5 years in November.
Okay.
But we were friends for like 2 years. We were dating other people. And we like hung out with the same group of people. And then one summer we were both single and staying at Fordham and started hanging out. This was the summer before senior year. And then we moved in together after we graduated, and here we are.
Oh yeah, there's just like a good big chunk of time you've skipped over, but okay.
So yeah, we got engaged and we got married in 2013, and we've been living here ever since.
But there wasn't ever like a thought about like how old y'all were?
Yeah, so it's funny when we tell people that we were getting married, they'd either assume that I was pregnant or we were super religious, which is obviously neither. And I mean,
unless that religion is black Escalade. Hey!
Exactly. I was super into that. That was my first religion. Yeah, people would always ask us like, you're getting married. So they always had this like wide-eyed expression on their faces, which kind of pissed me off. Because no one gets married in their 40s and they're like, wow, you're getting married so old. And it's like, you never say that to anyone. That's fucking rude. And I think the reason that obviously we love each other, but both of us are really good at monogamy. Like that's something I'm good at. I'm
like a skill. Like some guys are good at cooking and you're really good at monogamy.
No, and I know that sounds really stupid, but it's like, I think most people shouldn't get married. I think it really works for us right now. I'm not saying that nothing bad will ever happen. I would never say that. We're not perfect. But it really, really works for us. And we're both really old souls. So like, it felt right. And I think a lot of my friends were like, you're going to be the last to get married. Like, there's no way you're going to,
Is that because you were like the party girl?
Yeah. And I was like super anti getting married and like whatever. And I got married the earliest. So, I mean, never say never, I guess.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's wild. Now, what was this whole 2-month rule he gave you?
So we started hooking up, and we would just make out, and I was like, and at that time I was like not pushy about it at all, because I was like, whatever, he's one of my good friends, I'm not going to be like aggressive. And then
She had grown.
I had grown up into a very mature 21-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember one night we had gone out, we were making out, we went into my bedroom, and I started to take off my clothes, and he was like, listen, I just want to be exclusive before we have sex. And I was like, what? Because no guy had ever said that to me before. Like, I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I think that we should have the discussion about what we are before we have sex. And I was like, dude, we've been hanging out for like 2 months. Like, we're, whatever. But yeah, he was like very cautious about doing that.
He wouldn't touch any of the parts.
No, he would.
It was college. Like, he would definitely. He must have fingered you on a dance floor 100%, once.
100%. Like, we were all doing that stuff, but like when it would come time to like
to fuck,
he'd be like, all right, I gotta go. You would like put everything on, and finally one night I was like, why don't you want all of this? And he was like, yo, you need to calm down. Because once again, it was like, is this a rejection? Like what?
Right.
And it was also confusing because it obviously wasn't a rejection, because he was like wanting to hang out all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just is like a very good kid.
Right.
I don't know.
But again, reverse the roles, and you were holding out for 2 months. You're just enforcing some arbitrary rule from Sex and the City, and he's not allowed to question it.
Exactly.
And he can either, stay or go.
Right. But I respect him for doing that now that I look back.
He wasn't a virgin, right?
No.
No, he just was only into having them in monogamous relationships.
Yeah, so he wasn't a virgin, very sexually open person, but very much about being with one person at one time.
How sexually open was he at 21? Do tell.
I mean, he was one of those people who would try anything, but he wanted it to be with just one person. Like, he wasn't the kind of guy who was like having one night stands.
Sure, it's just when people under the age of like 23 talk about being sexually explorative, I'm like, yeah, but how explorative can you have been? You haven't been like doing this legally long enough.
Right.
So like what, like were you all very
when I say that, sure. I mean he'll hear about how other people's sex lives, and he's like the least judgmental person ever.
Okay, cool,
you know
cool.
Like,
yeah. He doesn't get weird about the topic.
No. And if I were to be like, hey, let's hang from the ceiling and like, I don't know, do something really fucked up and weird, he would be like, okay, like we'll definitely explore that. You know, like,
I gotta go buy a fixed point, then we'll get the right rope.
Exactly.
And
yeah. Just like totally like exactly. He's just a very open person. But yeah.
Does that carry out into other places? I take it with the skydiving. He likes doing a variety of things.
Yeah, he's a very
skydiving right now. Was that the agreement?
No, oh my God, no. He's doing it. He's doing it July 28th with my sister, actually. Okay. And I haven't decided if I'm going to do it or not. But yeah.
Please, just if you do, don't die, because that's all. I've never had to take an episode down. I feel like that would be very weird.
You can keep it up if I do not make it.
I have
my
lawyer.
consent.
You can hear it.
Yeah,
you
want
hear
my
that
words
right now,
to live on. For sure. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. That's wonderful. And there was never. So 5 years now.
5 years.
That's a long time for your 20s, because that's your 20s.
That's exactly.
And has it all been easy?
No. And I get nervous because like I definitely did the wild child thing and like had my one night stands, and he didn't. So I get nervous that he'll never experience that part of life. And part of me loves him so much, and I'm like, you should experience that. Like, I almost feel bad, that he never got to. And, I guess I get a little nervous that in the future he'll have some sort of like midlife crisis. And I wouldn't be able to blame him. I'd be like, yeah, I get it.
Would you potentially give him a hall pass?
So when I first got married, I was like, cheating, absolutely not. Like, that's a deal breaker. And now that I've gotten older,
well, let's just clarify. Cheating.
You're right. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm talking about two very different things.
That's totally fine.
Right,
yeah. Thank you.
Would I give him a hall pass? Yeah. Which would not be cheating.
Right.
Potentially. That idea of a hall pass just made me think about how I was like, a hard rule, no cheating, like it's done.
Yeah.
And now as I get older, I'm like, oh, life's not that black and white. It's just like, it's just way more complicated. Yeah.
I appreciate you recognizing that difference, because I think there's a lot of things, especially whether it's poly people or non-monogamous people, it's not cheating. Like, yes, they can cheat,
right,
but they're just playing by different rules.
Right.
But if they break their rules, they're cheating. If My
You're
ex,
right.
if my
Cheating
ex
is
and
different.
I,
It's all relative.
yeah, if I had sex with someone else without a condom, that would have been cheating because that would have gone against the terms of my relationship.
Okay.
You know, I was allowed to fuck other people.
Right, but safe.
Yeah, yeah. I just had to use a condom. That was, our rules. Your
Yeah.
rules are no fucking anyone,
Right.
regardless. And that's
Yeah. So I think in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, I'd be fine with that if he did that. Like I have this like really open mind, but I don't know if push came to shove, I'd be like, I don't know. Time will tell.
Okay.
Circle back with me in a couple years.
We can do that. To circle back, there's a fun. You got one. There was another time we hooked up. Like actually, I think it was like a week or a few days later. I came back. But there was you saw me my junior year of college.
Oh my God, when you did the naked comedy.
When I did the naked comedy show.
And you said that something about beer goggles and me, and I was like, fuck you, Billy. Like, what
You and your girlfriends came down to the naked comedy show my junior year. It was a show I booked just because like I was brand new to comedy. It's not like I was picking what spots I got.
Right.
And this guy was like, "Yeah, I'll throw you up if you take your clothes off." I was like, "I can do that."
Right. Okay.
And this,
so
and
you're a hustler.
yeah, I was webcamming at the time. I was like, okay, like I've already been naked in a performative aspect.
Yeah.
Just now I won't get paid for it.
Right.
And I don't have to come. That's cool.
Yep.
But I told you, hey, I'm doing a naked comedy show. You should come down. And she, yeah, so you brought friends from Forum. I was up first on the lineup. And the host, Andy O'Fight, she comes up and he is naked and he does this whole fucking thing. And then I came out and I did my jokes. And I went backstage. I had a text from you. And you were like, I didn't know you were going to be fucking naked.
Yeah. I was like,
I was like, it's the naked comedy show.
I was sitting down and my friends were all like, holy shit, is he going to be naked? And I was like, I don't think so. I think maybe it's just like the host or.
Did y'all not realize this when?
And then you came on stage and I was like, oh, fuck. Yes, he is naked. Yep. That's him up there.
When did y'all feel like?
I don't know.
You texted me back. You were like, I thought you meant like naked meant like it's gonna be like raw and edgy and honest. Like it's naked. It's emotionally naked.
What an idiot. That's so embarrassing.
That was one of my more favorite go out and get drinks afterwards situations.
Oh my God. Yeah. And okay, I have to say something really quick about those comedians that you were with. I was like really shocked and somewhat saddened by how kind of dark and brooding they were as a group, but they were all hilarious.
Did
on
we bring
stage.
comics with us to drinks?
Yes.
Oh God.
And I was like, oh, this is going to be a funny night, because we're with comics. And there was like this sense of like sadness among them. And I don't know if that's all as like all comics like in real life or just like actually a little bit darker. I don't know.
I think we're happy. I mean, I will speak from personal experience. I can deal with certain tragedy or deal with sad feelings by finding the funny in them.
Right.
So if I'm going through a breakup, if I can write jokes about my breakup and not jokes like, oh, let me shit on my ex.
Right. Okay.
Like I had my most recent ex is genderqueer.
Okay.
And so,
what does that mean? Sorry.
I don't even totally get it either.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. That makes me feel better.
Yeah. I'll put it this way. I don't get the difference between genderqueer, non-binary, gender non-conforming. It's fine. I'll figure it out eventually.
Right. We'll Google.
But the key part was that like, they didn't feel they use they them pronouns.
Okay.
Because they don't feel like a boy all the time. They don't feel like a girl all the time.
Okay.
They had a pussy, so like to answer that, but that was where they were at. And I'm like, okay, I'll figure this out along the way. But
and you liked this person a lot.
Oh, I love this person.
Okay.
Yeah, I fell in love with them, and then we had a big fight, and I got dumped on Super Bowl Sunday.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay. We are far from February. So.
Yeah, you're right. Time is.
Yeah, but like in the midst of that, like I'm thinking like I'm horrified and I'm sad, and the first thing I think of is this joke where I go like, I just got dumped by my ex, but my ex is genderqueer, which I argue makes the whole thing worse because in order to respect their preferred pronouns, it sounds like I got rejected by a gang of people.
She didn't like that. This person didn't like that.
They didn't like that.
They didn't like that.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't care if they like it or not, but it's just the idea of like that cheered me up.
Okay, that
because I'm not making fun of my ex. I'm just like I am finding some funny.
You're
in
funny
this,
in
this
the situation
sad
in
stuff.
general, not them specifically.
Yeah, to like, if I'm gonna like live tweet a Trump fucking presidential address, it's not always just to do it just cause. Sometimes just because like fucking I don't know, I gotta find something funny in all this to survive. So. Right. If I have a traumatizing view on my childhood, socially with kids and whatnot.
Right.
So let me make bullying jokes because that's gonna make me feel better.
Okay. I feel you.
But hanging out with comics can be very jarring.
Yeah, and I was
because
like,
we can just talk about. You'll be like, why are they talking about suicide
it was just,
so
dark
happily?
and like, I mean, they were funny, but in this like really sad way. And I was like, this is
Bunch
some
of sad
heavy
clowns.
shit. Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, not the night I thought I was gonna have, but
Yeah, and sometimes potentially offensive. Oops.
Right.
And then I think part of me had a weird fantasy in my head. It was like, oh, maybe I'll do this naked show, and then like one of Gene's friends will want to like hook up with me.
oh, that's what you thought?
I don't know.
That's adorable.
It's adorable. Look, in college, that's when I went wild because I finally realized
I thought
that
you had a serious girlfriend.
my freshman year and just the freshman year.
Okay,
it was the woman that, I was supposed to lose my virginity to.
Right.
And the story for that, how that closed itself up, that we still ended up dating, was that she was in like Czechoslovakia or something, and that I know that's not even a country anymore, but she was somewhere in Europe.
Yeah, okay.
And that's when I came up for the 2 times I came up to your place. And when she got back, I didn't say anything yet. My mind was like, we didn't have a rule to not fuck other people.
Right.
So I didn't break a rule. I don't have to disclose. She didn't ask yet.
Okay.
But then there was one night in like August, we're making out. We were going to go to a party that night. And we're making out, and she stopped me and she said, hey, I think I'm ready. And I'm like, to go to the party?
There?
Like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
She's like, no, like, I'm ready. And I think she like glanced down at us, like lying in the bed as she like, and then
Yeah.
looked back up. And I was like, oh, you mean that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cause I knew it was going to be a big deal, for her. And it was like, okay, cool. She's like, yeah, after the party, like, let's come back to my place. I'm like, all right. And then in my mind, I'm like, fuck, like, I gotta tell her.
Oh, this is...
I was like, I gotta tell. Like,
I
can't-
guess this is a horrible time to tell her, but it's also the only time to tell her.
I have to. She thinks she has a fairy tale.
Right.
She doesn't want to find 6 months later. That's
Right.
So, and although like technically I'd be within my rights to not disclose because she didn't ask me. Right. But when we pulled up to the party, we're outside the house in the car. I said, "Hey, I gotta tell you something."
I can't believe I'm the villain in this story. Okay.
I don't know that you're a villain,
I don't
other
know.
than
It feels
you're-
pretty shitty.
I'll put it this way. I phrased I phrased it to somebody as like, I said the woman who took my virginity. I was like, the woman who insisted upon my virginity.
Oh my god, this isn't terrible.
It's okay. There's worse women in my life who've done worse. So that's
Okay,
fine.
great.
Yeah. You didn't take the dick. You you were very insistent
Yeah,
upon it.
I was persuasive. I was like a salesperson.
You got my consent. It's time for the fan whore appreciation moment. All right. This is the part of the podcast where I like to give some shout outs to a couple of my fan whores on Patreon. The fine folks who are supporting this podcast, making it happen, making it possible for me to not have a day job eating up my time so I can focus on giving y'all a great show. Shout out right now to Or Zeisberg. I think my lone Israeli listener. If there's any more Israeli listeners out there, shoot me an email. I want to know that you exist. But right now, thank you for listening to the show. Thank you for your support. And shout out to Devon Knapp. Thank you so much. Devon is a super cute mom. Kind of looked her up. And also, Devon's a cute name. Like, it's a cute name for a cute mom. And I'm so happy that you're supporting this cute old fella with his podcast. And YouTube can become a member for as little as $1 per month. And for that $1, oh my, you get bonus episodes of the Man Whore podcast. You get access to my super secret fan whore community, the Champagne Room on Facebook, and a shout out on the show. Not to mention, I just posted a nude picture of me from the nude beach. So if you want to see what my peen looks like, it costs literally $1. Head on over to patreon.com/manwhorepodcast. Become a member today. Again, that's patreon.com, patreon.com/manwhorepodcast. If we reach $1,500 pledged by August, Billy gonna get his nipples pierced. And now let's wrap up with Gene. Oh my gosh, I had a woman on the show once, though, who we started it. I went to go hit record, and I was like, hey, is there anything you want to talk about? And she was like, we'd only slept together once. We went on one day. We had sex that night. I wasn't a fan of having sex at night, but it's similar to you in that just like saying like kind of just was like, but she was a little bit more badgering and you just kind of, I was like, I think I was a little intimidated.
Yeah. Right.
So
By me?
A little bit, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. In like a good way. And it's like, oh, she knows, she says so. Okay. I think that was like. She
knows stuff. She knows stuff I don't know.
So this woman says, I want to talk about that night. I turn to hit the record button. I turn back and she's in full tears. So I'm like, oh, hold up. What's going on? And after I find out what it is, I'm like, can I hit record so we can talk about this right now? She's like, yeah. She said, and this, we had gone that date 2.5 years prior. She's like, I thought I raped you.
Oh my God.
She said like, yeah, I used to never think like men could be raped, blah, blah, blah. And then out of nowhere, and then she's like, but then I dated a guy who had been raped by a woman. And then I thought like, oh, no way. And then she remembered our night and how she was kind of badgering, be like, please, like, come on. I really want to fuck you. I really want. And then I kind of was like, fine, I'll fuck you.
Yeah.
And she thought that was rape. And so she's in full tears. I'm like, oh, honey, like, no, you totally got my consent. Badgered me into it, but got it.
Right.
Is valid. It holds up in court.
Yep. Holds up in court.
Holds up in court.
Two
Very
different things. Yeah.
And that really, and then I had to tell her about the time I did get raped just to calm her down.
Oh,
so that I was like, don't worry, no, someone actually did,
We'll
and it's
talk
very
about that
very
off
different
line.
from you. Sure.
Yeah.
And she was, so she was like, oh, okay, cool. Thank God someone did, and it wasn't me.
Great answer.
Remember that whole dark humor thing we were talking about? Yeah. Because I could be traumatized by it, but I found enough funny things to be like mildly okay.
Yeah, I think that's good.
So yeah, so you're not the villain, but anyways,
okay, great.
So we're outside the party, and I'm telling her like, hey, I've got to tell you something, and like obviously that's not a good sentence starter, ever. Right. That's like never been followed by good things.
You never want to hear
There's never been, babe, I got to tell you something where I've turned the car off and the music off.
Yeah, right.
And there's no flowers in the backseat. Like there's just this bad scenario. And so she's already looking worried, and I'm like, hey, when you were in Europe, there's this girl I was talking to, and I ended up going up to, where you shoot through a party. I went up there, and we ended up having sex. Mm-hmm. And then she just started crying.
Oh my God.
Full tears. And I'm like, oh fuck.
Isn't it weird that, like, sorry, real quick.
Please.
Isn't it weird that you can be a part of something like this in someone's life and have no idea? Like, that you're part of this story. Like, I had, you know what I mean? Like this, I had no idea.
And you had no idea that in her head, she doesn't know who you are, what you look like, but she's now imagined a person who is Jean.
Right.
That fucked this guy that she's fallen in love with.
Yeah.
That she has just offered her body to for the
and
first time.
I was just like, this is just summer fun. This is just, okay.
It's wild how these things are all connected. Yeah. And then I had to, I had to like do a lot of mea culpa and do some reassurances and stuff. I mean, her big thing was she was worried like about it meaning something to me. That was a big thing for her because like she was in love with me. I was in love with her.
And you were
was,
like, no.
Yeah, it was like this is a woman I was told I should be making out with.
Right.
And Kelsey, that's the thing. Kelsey has no idea that
you know what? Kelsey's really the villain. That's it.
But that's the thing. Kelsey has no idea that about what the experience was like, and Kelsey also has no idea that it ended up almost causing this relationship to even never happen. Wild how they all connect.
But you continue dating afterwards.
Well, she called when I assured her that like, look, it didn't mean anything to me. We used a condom. That was another big thing.
Yep.
I was like, I didn't know how to put it on, but like she put it on, so it was used.
Yeah, what a slut. Yep.
Not a slut. No,
I'm just kidding.
And then we went to the party, and then afterwards, like we did go and we had sex, and I took her virginity while Guster was playing.
Oh, what's such a? Where were you at the time? Was this in New York?
This is in Jersey, in our hometown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She picked the playlist.
That feels very like mid 2000s to me. You know?
Yeah. I know the only song I know for sure was playing that night was Satellite.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything else.
Okay.
But yeah.
Sad and adorable at the same time.
Yeah.
That story.
Yeah. It's wild, those things. What was your first breakup like?
My first breakup was with that Starbucks barista guy. I went away on vacation to Mexico with my girlfriends, and when I came back, he had asked this other girl to prom.
What a skank he is.
Devastated, and I took a gallon of milk and poured it all over his car in the parking lot of Starbucks. It was my baller move of 2006, 2007. I don't know.
Something about suburban high school girls. Y'all have
vindictive.
Vindictive.
Very vindictive.
Y'all also have this like weird confidence to damage people's property
100%.
that you don't deserve
Right.
to have.
Exactly.
Like you don't realize, like you'll key a car and not realize like how much keying a car costs a person.
No clue. Zero clue. Yeah, I was like so devastated because the girl that he took was so mean. And I was like, listen, I don't think I'm perfect, but I know I'm fucking nicer than her. She was terrible. I guess that was like my first breakup. But then I would say my real first bad breakup was in college, like years later.
Yeah.
That was like actually devastating and really.
And how so?
We just were like, I was like, I always compare it to like a match. Like it went on very fast and very off very, very fast. We just were like, you know, very in love quickly. And he was out of college. So like, I kind of thought he was this like older guy, had his life together, and it was like very exciting. And I think we just had two ideas about what our lives should be. He was like, very much get married, have, you know, woman stays home. She has children. Like I'm never leaving Long Island. Like this is my life. And I was, you know, a little bit more like wanted to explore life and whatever. And so it ended really horribly. And we got into this one, we had sex. And then right after we had sex, he broke up with me while we were still in bed. And it was
still
just,
naked?
Yeah. And I was just
Ew.
like, devastated.
Ew.
Yeah, it was terrible. Oh. And he had given me this like clatter ring. Not even Irish. I don't know why I took it. But anyways, he gave it to me and I like threw it at his head. And I, you know, he would not speak to me afterwards. I mean, like imagine making...
Fuck that. You shouldn't speak to him afterwards.
I know. And that was the thing at the time. I was so like fragile and like, I don't know, just heartbroken. But he would not speak to me, which is so fucked up thing to do to someone, to be with someone for like almost a year and like, but like, you know, do everything together. And then just one day be like, and we're never speaking again. It was like a death, you know, because I wasn't allowed to speak to him and he didn't go to my school. So I couldn't go see him. I didn't have a car. And then I actually met my husband like 6 months after that breakup, but, it was really bad.
A relationship really is kind of like a life that like it bursts, it lives, and then it does die, and it needs to also be mourned.
Yeah,
like a death.
it was like a death to me. And I was trying to explain it to people and I'm like, imagine just like being completely denied access to someone who you were like so in love with because they just refuse to speak to you and they have that control over you because they know how much you love them. And so I like had to go to therapy because I was just like so like I didn't understand. I was just too young to get it. I get it now, but yeah, it was very sad.
Wow.
Yeah.
You say you're worried that like your husband's like lack of experience, variety. I mean, how much experience did you really have? Like
Before him, that I had before
yeah, was
him?
it like really?
I mean, I had slept with definitely more people than him. And I had dated more than him. I just gone on more dates. Like I just had met more people.
Well, I guess where I'm going with this is like, do you think, or do you worry, or think that you might at some point get a curiosity for the things you didn't get to experience yet either? Because I don't care who you are at 21, unless you're going to sex parties. I don't think you have gotten an amount of experience.
No, I agree with you, but I don't know that it's just not that important to me.
Sure.
And I know you're probably the audience is listening to this is like, what the fuck? I mean, I love to have sex and I love my husband, but like, I guess sex has never been that much of a priority to me, especially as I've gotten older. And maybe that'll change. And if it does, then I guess we'll have to talk about it and I'll have to tell him how I'm feeling. But it's not there right now. And I'm not saying no, whatever, because I've definitely my dad in my wedding speech said to my husband, you know, I hope you're along for the ride, more or less, because Jean's always sort of changing, not always in great ways, but she's always changing. So, you know, I hope you can kind of like weather these. So I think maybe one day I'll feel like, oh shit, did I not do enough of this? Yeah. But I don't feel that right now. And it's just not on my radar.
That's wonderful. And you also seem to have a surprisingly healthy attitude towards like the malleability of a relationship contract.
Oh, 100%. Like, I mean, every year it's like a different stage of our relationship and it's like a different, you can tell the differences in the way, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's bad. But I like the notion of sticking things out and not, I don't mean like suffer, whatever. I just know that things go up and down and generally they go back up again. And if they don't, yeah, you should leave. But they generally do.
That's fantastic.
I'm making the wave motion.
Yeah, she's making the wave motion. Yeah. Rolling with the homies.
Right now I'm rolling. Feeling great. Feeling good.
Oh, Jean, I'm so glad you did this.
Yeah, actually, I'm super into it.
Good.
Yeah, if you ever want me back, I'm here.
I'll hold you to it.
Okay.
I wasn't sure how this was going to go.
Yeah, I was very nervous.
How this has been good for you? Was it good for you? Was it
I
better
mean,
than
no, it
that
was good
7
for
seconds
me.
of bliss?
It just makes. I mean, I'm bummed about your memory of it, but I'm also. This was good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, this was fun, and you seem happy. You
Yeah.
seem
Super
have
happy.
a guy that you're thrilled about who
He's
goes
the shit.
skydiving and
He's the
lets
shit.
you talk to some fucking weirdo who
Yeah.
is like, I know we had sex 11 years ago.
Right.
But can we talk about it now?
Yeah. I think it's fun. I think we all should do this. It's great.
Yeah,
Good for your soul.
This is fantastic. Well, Gene, why don't you go ahead and say goodbye to everybody?
Bye, guys.
Or any other? Do you have any parting words
Do
or
I have any
thoughts?
parting words? No. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and it wasn't a complete waste of your time.
Nonsense.
Okay.
Later.
Bye.
For those of you who might be wondering, we mentioned Sarah, right? Her friend Sarah, who she had no idea I made out with. Sarah has been on the podcast, as we said. She is episode 130. Maybe you want a refresher. Maybe you missed that one. It's a pretty cool one. So go check that out. I think that it's titled Fingering and Other Love Poems. People, again, my nipples. There's a hit out on my nipples. We've got 3 weeks to get $600 more pledged to the Man Whore Podcast Patreon page. Be a part of that change. Go to patreon.com/Man Whore Podcast. Become a patron. At Mr. Alexander on Twitter says, my thirst got the better of me. I'm a patron. Why did it take me so long? That's in reference to checking out my naked body. Little snapshot of me on the nude beach at Gunnison that I posted there. Again, patreon.com/Man Whore Podcast. Support the show. Hashtag pay for your content. Get great rewards. And then also, go get your tickets for the Man Whore Podcast Presents Comedy Show on August 3rd at Lucky Jack's, or the Man Whore Podcast live taping on August 4th at the Actors Theater Workshop. Go to manwhorepod.com/comedy or manwhorepod.com/live, respectively, to get your ticket today. There is limited seating. Otherwise, you know how to email me. You know where to follow me on the internets. I just wanted to stress one more time. Supporting me on Patreon really does keep the lights open, allows me to do what it is that I'm doing full time. The more that we have pledged on Patreon, the less I have to do other odd jobs that take away my focus from stand-up comedy and this show. So if you can find $1, like in the cup holder of your car, in the junk drawer in your kitchen, under the cushions of your mattress, then you know what? That's probably $1 you could part with, and that $1 goes a long way for me, especially if we can multiply that by thousands of listeners. Again, the website is Patreon, patreon.com/Man Whore Podcast. Because if you can't empty out $1 for me, well, then you're not going to be able to afford next week's guest. I've got on a male escort, Anthony Asante. Going to introduce y'all to him in a little bit, but until then, stay slutty.